Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. All right, June 10th. All right, y'all. We're back for another episode of the Nightcap with Short But Not So Sweet. I got my squad here. I got Richard on the ones and twos.
Hello.
Do what you do. I got Christina on the threes and fours.
What's up?
Let's do it. How's everyone doing? It's Wednesday. It was a beautiful day in the Bay Area today. And so I kind of want to celebrate that with a drink. And I plan on getting a little silly tonight. So I hope everyone enjoys.
What you making?
I'm going to make a Moscow Mule because it's A, effective, B, easy, C, delicious.
Okay.
Agreed.
This is a bar favorite. If you never know what to order at a bar, always go with the Moscow Mule because it's really hard to mess up. And if they do mess up, get the hell out of that bar. Like, that's my advice.
You judge people that don't know what to order when they get to a bar? I do.
You know, I have a really funny story. When I had just turned 21, I had bought Jay-Z tickets. He was playing, like, in April. And it was, like, my first time going to a concert, and I could get a drink. And I didn't know what to order. And
Right.
I asked the bartender I was like, I don't know, what would you suggest? And he suggested a Greyhound. Never drank one since.
Yeah, no.
I was like,
No, that I get. Like, that's a celebratory moment. Like, I get that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but I didn't know what to order. I was like 21, and I had just turned 21 like 2 weeks ago.
I have a problem with grown-ups. They get to the bar.
Oh, okay.
And they...
So you have an age limit on who you're judging.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. If you are grown, you don't know what to order. Are you serious?
And the bartender is running through the fucking list and
yeah.
telling you what's in each thing, and he brings you back something that glows.
Yeah, and my trick is always have like a staple. So like I love a Moscow Mule, I love a vodka soda or a glass of wine, and then while you're drinking that first drink, peruse the drinks and figure it out and change your order. I think that is my little tidbit. What do you order?
It's a good tip.
Yeah,
Moscow Mule, vodka soda, it depends.
Rashard, what do you order? A gin and tonic?
Gin and tonic, Jameson Coke.
Sometimes I do that too. Not Jameson though.
You like?
Actually, what do I get?
I like Jameson and Coke. It's a little dangerous.
If it's a little speakeasy joint, I want to see it what their old fashioned's like.
I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard, is there a way to like turn the volume down in my headphones? It's just hella loud.
Are you loud? Are you really loud?
Everyone's really loud. But if there's not, that's okay. I just don't.
Okay, so you already know the deal. I don't know measurements, nor do I really care. So I got a shot glass tonight because I don't know, I can say 2 shots, 3 shots, but we're gonna go with 2 tonight.
Well, that's a double shot, so.
Oh, you're right, it is a double shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, that means that I only need 1 pour.
I don't know if that's what that means, but at least you're aware of how much you're pouring.
Yeah. Oof.
Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm making a Moscow Mule.
I know, but that's to the... Okay.
It's 2 shots.
Do you? It's a lot of... It's a lot.
Of vodka?
Right.
I think it's barely enough.
Oh, okay.
Ew, I can't use this cup. It's dirty.
She did not prepare the glasses.
You gotta use that cup.
It's dirty.
Alright, well, tell a story while I wash it out.
Thank you. Okay, so maybe I'll tell the story of my 24th birthday because it's entertaining and it'll be just enough time for you to wash that shit out.
I've been waiting for this.
All right. I'm talking about my 24th birthday because Richard asking me, like, people not knowing what to order reminded me of it because I went wild.
Absolutely wild.
Absolutely buck wild. To the point where, like, I can't talk about it. I will not talk about it.
I love
you
talking
threaten
about it.
You love to be like, you want to talk about your 24th birthday? I'm like, hell no. That memory of my 24th birthday will get me into, will check me so quick. Like, nope, don't want that getting out again. So what happened is I was about to graduate. Was it my 24th or 23rd?
You were about to graduate? Yeah, I guess we were about to graduate. Yeah.
So I was about to graduate college. I thought I graduate. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. I thought I was 23 when I graduated. Why did I invite my college crush? Whatever. It was my 24th birthday or my 23rd, one of those. I was about to graduate college, so I was super excited. You know, like when you're like a senior and you're like, it's springtime, you're about to be on spring break, and you're just kind of like living life. You're going through the motions of going to class. Anyways, I was super stoked. I wasn't living in the dorms. I had moved back to San Jose, but I had invited some college friends, specifically this boy I had a huge crush on in college. And yeah, so like everybody I invited that birthday was coming. So I was super stoked. Like all my favorite people. We were going to one of my favorite bars at the time, downtown. We had pre-gamed at Aki's, and if you don't know what Aki's is like a super healthy, organic Mexican spot that's really popular around here.
They got the swirl.
They have swirls, which is a margarita mixed with like sangria. It's like super potent. Anyways, I had a couple swirls, and this is maybe back when swirls were like pretty new, because it was all the rage for a second, which is why we went to Aki's.
They had those limits.
Yeah, they do. You can only get 2.
Yeah, you can only get 2. These things are potent and honestly nasty, if you ask me.
I love them.
Oh my god, they're so bitter.
They're delicious, yeah.
I'm going to make this drink while I tell the story. So we go to Aki's. It's just me and my best girlfriends, and we're having the best time. And then we're heading to the other bar, the bar where all of my other friends were going to meet up with me, specifically my college crush. My god, I will die if he sees this and figures out that I'm talking about him. So I'm super stoked. I'm getting super drunk. I keep getting AMFs. Like back then, that was like what you bought for the birthday girl. So I was getting those, and mind you, I've already had like a couple swirls by now. Remember, you can only have 2, so maybe I have 2.5, 3. I think actually. And
what'd you put in there?
Oh, ginger beer. Sorry. Did my double shot of vodka, but I'm honestly gonna probably do more because I'm ready to get a little silly. It's been a great week. And then a can of ginger beer. Any can will do. So we're getting to the bar. I'm getting drinks. My friends are showing up. I'm having a great time. It hits me. I am wasted. As I'm at this bar, I was like dating this guy, and then we had just broken up, but he was coming to my birthday party at this bar, and that's almost the last memory I have is like seeing him and being like, fuck, what are you doing here? Because my crush is coming. Like, I just want to get this guy out of here. And then it goes black. I remember seeing another friend, and I was like, I'm super wasted, and I had to go out to the back. Basically, Christina and was it you?
Yeah, can I take over at this point?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so Vicky,
you were there?
Oh yeah, I was there.
It was 21.
It was a great moment.
Wait, how were you there?
Huh?
What do you mean?
This is for your 21st
I'm my
birthday.
24th birthday, so she's
24th.
Gotcha.
24th.
Okay.
Yeah, she's over
I'm
21.
old.
Gotcha.
She is no
I'm
longer a
putting
rookie.
in a lemon.
That's
Lime.
a lie.
Okay,
so I came a little bit later, so I missed the Aki's. I'm going straight to the bar. I bring my best friend with me. She had just taken a midterm that day, so that's why we were late. And so we come to the bar. I get there. Vicky is blackout wasted, but I love it. I love when people are drunk. I think it's fun. It makes me want to keep drinking. So I'm having a great time.
Yeah, you really do. That is.
I love it.
I forgot about that because
It makes me nervous.
it really does make Richard nervous, but I like grabbed 2 drinks for this nightcap and scared Richard. But
okay, hold on. Cheers, guys.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Where's Richard's?
I drank it.
You finished it.
No, you didn't. Are you lying?
I swear.
Oh shit. You want me to make you one?
Yeah, make him one.
I'm down for a mule.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm drinking. I'm not as drunk as Vicky, but there's this point in the night where one of Vicky's good friends grabs my hand, and I grab my best friend's hand, and we're all just being dragged through the club or through what would you call it? It's a bar.
It's a bar. It was Trace Gringos. Let me not front. Let me keep it a buck. It was Trace motherfucking Gringos.
In the back by the DJ.
Yep, exactly. So we're being dragged through the bar
I don't
through
know
these
this
people.
part of the story.
And we get taken out this back entrance I didn't even know existed until this day. And so I'm dragged outside, and they're basically telling me that Vicky is sick. And I'm like, okay. And so I go outside, and like, I'm her sister. So obviously I'm the one who needs to like step up the most. But I walk out to this scene, people. So almost every person Vicky had invited is standing in a circle around Vicky. It almost looks like a freaking like witches meeting. Okay. Vicky's in the middle.
A ritual.
She is projectile vomiting in a circle, like spreading it like a sprinkler.
Gross.
And her people are just standing around her, watching
that's
her.
How late you got there?
Yeah. So no one wants to step in because the woman is projectile vomiting. Her best friend is trying to step in, but is nervous and is like literally like freaking hopscotching around the vomit. I hop in there. I'm like, all right, Vicky, let's get the fuck out of here. I don't know what I did, but I did something. I'm like maybe holding her hair back. She's like calling out one of her friends, her like really old friends arrives at this time. He like rolls up to the scene, and she's like reaching out to him, calling out his name. It's just hilarious. So eventually things get settled down, and the next thing I know, a car has pulled up. It's like literally black SUV has pulled up, and someone has taken Vicky. Vicky's hopped in the car, and she's gone.
I'm gone.
Who is it?
It was my best friend.
It was her friend, and she's gone.
Save
she's
the
just like
day.
out like a celebrity. Vicky, she's always
There you go.
killing it like a celebrity.
I
She was just
I
out.
had like 3 really great girlfriends. One of them was trying to help Christina. The other one had gone to get the car. The other one was like probably filling you in like, this girl's a mess.
But it was hilarious.
I remember getting home that night, and Mom and Dad were like pissed off. Well, Mom was, Dad was like, whatever, it's her birthday. But like, my 3 best friends are carrying me up the stairs.
They give her a shower.
Oh, dude, yeah.
cleanse her.
They take a grade A care of me. They throw me in the shower because that's my rule. I do not go to bed without taking a shower, period, ever.
That's dope.
I am a freak about it. I don't like dirty shit in my bed. Especially after the club when you're being all sweaty, like, get your ass in the shower. So they threw me in the shower. I come out. I don't know if they undressed me. I think they did. One of the friends that was there has known me since I was kindergarten, so I just didn't care. So, whatever. They undress me. I throw me in the shower. I get out. I remember one of them being like, Vic, are you okay? Because I wasn't getting out of the shower. Because I was drunk as shit, enjoying the warm water. They get me out. They put clothes on me. I get into bed. One of my girlfriends was spending the night. And so she was staying with me. But then I take my contacts out and I just put them in my friend's hand. And I'm like, okay, good night, guys. And I just passed the fuck out.
Oh.
And then we went the next day. I don't think I was hungover or anything. Maybe a little bit because, I was pretty trash. But then we went and saw that weird Halle Berry movie.
Sounds like a blast.
I had a blast. I had fun. It's just like I remember the mob of people around me watching me projectile vomit as I'm making a fool of myself.
You didn't care though.
She did not care.
She
cares now.
No one's really brought it up since then. A lot of those people are still in my life, and like we don't talk about it. But Christina loves it.
I think it's because it's like it's not that embarrassing. It's like your birthday. You know?
It was a little I was so trashed. I was being so sloppy. And I never got to see the boy that came from college. But he told me the next day, that was a Thursday night, so Friday I didn't have class. Monday he was like, hey, I showed up, I didn't see you. And I was like, yeah, about that. So
Hey,
he even
really
came.
Good. This is very good.
Cheers, pal. Cheers, guys. So he came, and I was too trashed. So that's a lesson from me to y'all. Like, if
he peeped from across the club and was like, I'm cool.
No, I think he got there once I had gone to the back. He said he didn't see me.
Oh, okay.
But he came.
Gotcha.
So if you got your boo coming through, keep it cool.
Facts.
But yeah, that's the story. This is like making my sinuses act up.
It's very strong.
The ginger I like want to like cough every time.
That's good ginger.
Really strong. Fuck. Okay, but yeah, that's the story of my 24th birthday.
That's wild.
Christina loves to hold it over my head, but I'm taking my power back by telling y'all.
It was a moment.
Yeah.
Good moment.
Sounds fun.
Where did you go?
I don't remember if we went back to the club or if me and Sai went home. I don't remember.
I was having a blast.
I think we went back in the club.
I hope you did. It was Thirsty Thursday.
I'm sure we did.
Where'd you guys, what was your spot to go eat at after? So there was like Denny's, Mini Gourmet.
Or Lovix.
You guys never did Mini Gourmet?
I love Mini Gourmet, but no, I didn't go there after.
Not that young. Now it's
closed.
Now it's closed, but
it was, it became a regular spot.
Really? I didn't.
Even when I lived like in Milpitas, we'd come to Mini Gourmet.
What? Was open that late?
24 hours. It used to be.
It's true.
You can get chili cheese nachos and a prime rib.
Yeah.
What? Chili cheese nachos and a prime rib?
Yep.
That's quite the palate you got there.
At 3 a.m.
Delicious.
Fuck yeah.
I never knew it was open 24 hours.
It used to be, and then the last year.
Since we've lived near here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that place is good. The menu is big.
It's not good.
I think it's delicious. I love Mini Gourmet.
It's good for breakfast food.
Yeah. For like
but I'm not getting a prime rib there.
Yeah.
Oh, at 3 a.m, you're making nothing but bad decisions. And you're quite
that
okay. That
sounds like a stomach ache for the rest of the day.
Yeah, well, I told myself, like, I gotta eat. I'll be sick tomorrow if I don't. So just,
Yeah. I guess if you're going to eat anything, a prime rib is the way to go.
Fuck yeah.
All right. How's everything else going?
Pretty good.
Yeah. It's been like, the weather's been great. So if the weather's great, I'm in a pretty good mood normally. You got anything to add?
No, it's been good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, y'all, it is that time, as you know, February, Black History Month. We're going to do a little spotlight. I got mine. Y'all got yours? I know. Yes. I can tell. I know Richard does it.
Can I say?
You can say what?
No, go ahead. You guys do your thing.
Okay. Mine is a very interesting. This one specific person is really important to me because first of all, I didn't know about her until 3 years ago. And I thought that was fucked up. I thought that our American education system has really failed us in like giving us the whole truth and nothing but. So with that being said, the person I want to do a highlight is Claudette Colvin. And the way I learned about Claudette Colvin is I was teaching at a school and I had to push in for one of my students into their 8th grade English class. And I had to sit in Mr. Branch's class. Shout out to Mr. Branch. And he did a whole unit on Claudette Colvin. So if you don't know who Claudette Colvin is actually the woman who didn't want to give up her seat on the bus. Claudette Colvin was 15 years old when this happened. She was, I'm assuming, riding to or from school and refused to give up her seat. She told the bus driver, "This is my constitutional right. I paid the fare. I'm sitting here."
Do you know why she wasn't chosen to be the spokesperson by the NAACP?
Yeah, because she didn't look the part. She was 15 years old at the time. And she's a kid, right? Like back then, like these activist movements weren't really led by young people, and young people, the older generation didn't feel like young people could really handle the pressure of it. But she's actually the one who refused to give up her seat.
Right. I think it's crazy that in every history book there is.
Right, like
It's Rosa
who didn't
Parks.
give up their seat? Rosa Parks. But nah, Claudette Colvin really, she did it first. And then I think soon after, either she was pregnant when this happened or she got pregnant after. So the NCAAP were definitely like, nah. Like
Right.
a teenager, a pregnant teen, nah.
They didn't feel like that was
That
a
wasn't
good
the image.
representation. So
Right.
they didn't stage it, but they planned the Rosa Parks.
Yeah. They didn't feel like a teenager, a young person would be reliable enough to carry the movement. I guess Claudette Colvin's done. Of course, she's done a million interviews since then, and recently she did an interview and said that she said Parks had the right hair and the right look.
Right, and she was darker.
Yeah, she was an adult. This is what her quote says. She was an adult. They didn't think teenagers would be reliable.
Okay.
So Claudette Colvin is still with us, and she lives in the Bronx now. And I think that takes a lot of bravery as a 15-year-old to be like, nah. But she was right, and I'm sure she was widely aware of what the consequence might be, but she did it anyways, and I think that's dope. But yeah, Claudette Colvin was a brand new concept for me. I've never heard of her until 2-3 years ago.
Shout out to all the young people that have the awareness enough to do something like that.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of young people out there, even today.
Yeah. It's incredible. When the high school shooting in Florida happened, Parkland, that movement was led by those teenagers. This movement of Me Too was started by an older generation, but it's been carried on through young people.
Right.
Like this generation Z, like we want to like make fun and say silly things, but nah, they're doing it. All the things that we could have done or we wish we would have done, all the things that people have been fighting for, they're doing it. They're saying what's right, and they're setting the record straight. It's really cool to see and inspiring.
They know how to assemble and use their social media platforms efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to talk about efficiency? I think that's Gen Z. The way that they trolled Trump and bought out his rally tickets and no one showed up, that's beautiful. That's genius. And they did that. And absolutely, they've had the help of like technology and apps and different kinds of social media platforms, but they're doing it and they're using it for good. Not all the time, but they do use it for good. You want to go next, Christina?
Yeah.
Nah. You have one? You want to?
No.
Go ahead.
No.
Are you sure?
Wait, Richard. I think. When did you learn about Claudette Colvin?
I learned about her.
When and how?
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned about her from like a cousin or something, but he was on some like pro-black conspiracy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, she wasn't real, like Rosa Parks wasn't the real deal. I was like, all right, that's probably like 14, 15 years old.
I was actually embarrassed that I never heard of her until a couple years ago. I was literally sitting in that 8th grade class and being like, wow, you don't know shit.
Huh.
And I don't know if embarrassed is the right word, but I was like a little ashamed that I've never done further research. I just believed Rosa Parks was it.
I mean, I wouldn't feel bad about it because, I mean, like Rosa Parks did a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like her name carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel bad about that.
I still feel bad about it, and ever since then I've learned how to question what I'm learning and like really research it. And if something doesn't sitting right, or if I want to learn more, like to do my own research. And in that moment, I was like, do your own research. And I was embarrassed. How did you learn about Claudette Colvin?
I might have learned it from Mr. Branch too.
That's crazy. Mr. Branch, look at your impact.
That's
all right.
Cool.
I wanted to talk about Ruby Bridges, which is a story that we probably do know. I think that we typically do learn about her in elementary school. But it came to my attention that Ruby Bridges is only 66 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She's like a few years older than my mom. So just For those of us who maybe don't know about Ruby Bridges was a 6-year-old who was the first Black student to attend a desegregated school in Louisiana. Now, Louisiana and that part of the United States at Deep South, like, I don't know, I worry about Black people even to this day who live in the Deep South like that, just because it's so concentrated and just like, ugh. The racism is so
ingrained.
Thick. Yes. Yeah. And so I was reading about her recently, I think earlier this week, and the idea and the realization that she's only 66 just really hit me hard. She's young, she's still alive, she's doing interviews, she's doing all these things. And I just think back to the images of her being escorted as a 6-year-old, really cute, all dressed up for her first day of school, being escorted by federal agents into our school, surrounded by a mob of people who hate her, who are screaming at her, who are like throwing things at her and these federal agents. It's just
because she's Black.
Just because she's Black going to a white school.
That she can totally go to.
It is legal at this point to go to. So I just, that story was brought back to me. There's that like image of Kamala Harris as well, like when she was first elected, she's walking, and then in the shadow is the image of Ruby Bridges, and that was a powerful moment for me as well, just to see that and think about that realization. But Ruby Bridges, man.
So can I ask you both? I think we've talked about it, Vic. What's your understanding of like that integration into schools? Like, how do you understand it as white people saying, okay, it's time that we desegregate and let Blacks into our schools? Is that how you understand it?
What do you mean?
Is that what you think or know the history to be?
Like the legislation behind it?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't recall the legislation behind it. I recall what sticks out to me is the fight against it, and the violence that happened because they were getting integrated.
Yeah. So,
but not so much how.
There's a lot of carbonation in that ginger.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna make me sneeze.
It's making me do a whole lot of things. I apologize. I was gonna blame it on Christina, but I figured I'd come clean.
Because she sneezed once?
No, Christina was burping. I was gonna put it a little something.
Oh, got it.
All right, but
I don't burp.
At all?
For the record.
At all?
I don't burp.
Where's it go?
I don't know.
It's gotta go somewhere.
I don't fart either. I'm just kidding. That's what my mom says. Anyways, Richard, go back to your point.
My point is kind of like the Rosa Parks thing. That whole thing wasn't really about like white America saying, okay, it's time.
No.
That was about African Americans wanting the same things as far as like financial assistance that the white schools got, because there were black schools and they were great, but they weren't receiving the same like state funding that the white schools were, yet they were being demanded to pay the same taxes.
Right.
And that was how they kind of, they're like, all right, fine. Like, we're not going to give you the state funding that you guys want. Come to our schools. Keep paying those taxes.
Oh. And
So
let's put you through hell just to get you there so you don't want to.
Right.
And
Well, no. But that was a real fight, too. Like, that was just the outsiders. But how it really came about, it wasn't white America saying, let's change. It was just, yo, we're tired. We got to get this money.
Yeah.
And they ain't giving it up. So we're going to shut down their schools. We got to generate this income.
Yeah.
Let's let them come to our schools.
I never thought that it was white people finally being like, okay, come on.
Yeah, no.
Let's all be brothers here. I absolutely never thought that, because I don't think they were people who are racist are capable of that until recently.
That's just that there's a lot of alternate history that I know growing up in the black community, that it's like, oh, they don't.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
They don't share that. Like,
I mean,
they don't tell people.
the science behind it, the actual politics behind it. That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. But yeah, Ruby Bridges is still young, super young.
Yeah.
Super young.
Can do, but it is cool that she got to watch Kamala Harris become the vice president.
Dope.
In her lifetime, Ruby Bridges has seen a lot, and I'm hoping that she's seen more progress than she has seen delays. Black president, first female Black vice president, the BLM movement. In general, I'm hoping that she's pleased with what she's seen in her lifetime.
Yeah.
That'd be a really cool interview to do. That's a dream. All right, Richard, do you want to do your person?
I didn't do my homework, but
That's
I
okay.
do want to talk. I mean, so like a lot of people think about Black history and they find like the greats and like I think this is super impactful and kind of made like it was unfortunate, yet it kind of propelled the movement, and that was like Emmett Till. So like if we just think about like what went on with that and what he did and what was the outcome, like like he just complimented a woman and that was it. You know what I'm saying? And like that's a really big deal to me. Like that kind of made a big splash.
Yeah. You as a young person, or like you now?
Oh yeah, like seeing the pictures of
Yeah.
him and hearing the story, and like I think it's when I moved. I think I learned about him until pretty young. So then I was a little afraid of white people. I was like, yo, like, you know, I'm young. I don't know that it's always appropriate to teach that history to super young people, but I mean, I'm fine. But yeah, it was shocking to hear like what the fuck they did to that kid, and he was just a young boy.
I think when Black Lives Matter happened, like Emmett Till was one of those pillars that they would reference, and I think that for a lot of people that was news to them.
I think so.
But this happened years ago.
Oh yeah, years and years ago.
Years and years ago.
My grandmother was young when that happened, and
Yeah.
if I remember the story correctly, like not the Emmett Till story, but the woman that was involved. So she lived a life, and she, you know, she did her thing, but before she passed, she made a statement about him. But yeah, it's a little too
What did
late.
she say?
She was more or less apologizing for it.
So that it wasn't, she
made a mistake.
made a mistake. She put a 10 on a 2.
Yeah, she blew it out of proportion.
What
more or
good?
less.
And like that's great, but like what good is it now? You could have saved that man's life.
Man, I think that was probably burning a hole in that woman's heart, or you know, just she had to get it. I think she did it on her deathbed. I could be very wrong, and don't
No,
quote
it
me.
definitely happened right before she died. It was like a big thing, and that's when the Emmett Till thing started getting a lot of news
Traction
coverage
again.
again.
The Emmett Till story is a horrible story. I think the family is... I can't imagine how hard it would be to make the decision to keep it an open casket and let people see that.
Yeah.
But such an example. But I also think the Emmett Till story is sensationalized to the extent that people think it was like a rare occurrence, like it was a standout case, and they don't understand just how normal that type of stuff was, and honestly still is to this day. So that story is really hard to hear, and I'm just like, what are all the stories that we haven't heard?
Seriously, I don't think Emmett Till would have been as big as a story as it was if he wasn't so young.
Yes. And if it didn't have that attention of like keeping an open casket, letting people see what happened to him and what people did to him.
That was such an impactful decision.
Yeah.
Like, inviting the newspapers and all that. Yeah.
It's sad. It's super terrible.
So terrible.
Yeah.
It's very emotional. Honestly, that lady coming out about it pisses me the hell off.
Too little, too late.
Too little, too late. And I'm glad, like, that's your karma for not doing the right thing when you should have.
Yep.
Like, you think you get off scot-free when you don't do the right thing? Nah. That shit will eat you forever. And honestly, it should. It should absolutely eat you forever. And that is karma. So, like, I don't know. That part of it really pisses me off.
That's one of those unforgivables.
Super unforgivable.
Yeah.
Super. So you would cancel this lady.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that for me is like beyond unforgivable. Like, you are disgusting.
It was a child. I don't care what color it is. It's a child.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's getting super
Pretty
deep,
heavy.
but I think it's important to talk about, and that there's a conversation that we always keep in mind, because the shit is not gone. We have not eradicated racism.
We have not.
All right, let's do some hot takes. I got a hot take, and it's gonna piss Rashard off. I thought the Super Bowl was trash.
You thought what?
I thought the Super Bowl was trash.
Did you?
I did.
Is it because you were on the losing side?
I thought that the Chiefs did not come prepared to play. I thought it was funny that Mahomes is like the highest. He's got the most yards for a quarterback because he runs his own.
Because he ran. But can we? Like, I'm not gonna let you get off that easy. What did we say was gonna happen? What did I say was gonna happen?
That Brady was gonna win.
Yeah. What?
I'm not saying it.
Oh.
I said it once. I said what I said. I just thought it was trash. It wasn't like, it was enjoyable to watch the first quarter, but then it was like the second quarter and they got 13 while they were sitting at 3. I was like,
but that's not trash.
This is
the
it.
team you wanted to win lost. That's not.
I thought I was bored.
I mean, I guess that's trash.
I left by the third quarter. I left because I was like, I know who's gonna win.
But
it wasn't enjoyable to watch.
His 2 offensive linemen that protected him for the last couple of seasons, they were hurt. They got injured. That's why they had him running the whole time. That's why he couldn't do anything.
I'm aware. I just didn't enjoy it. And honestly, the Super Bowl to me was more than the Super Bowl. It was like a bit of normalcy, because we haven't seen live sports in a long time. Like, the Lakers never got to celebrate their championships. Like, fans haven't been allowed in the stadiums. So Super Bowl with fans, with everybody there, I was like, okay, cool. Like, maybe we're getting back to our old selves.
Yeah.
Our old self. And this is not fun.
You didn't like it?
I don't like when games are when it's like you can see the clear winner. It's boring to me. I like competition.
I mean, but look at it on the other side. Like, look at it for Tom. Like, he left the toxic. Like, this whole, like, oh, he wins too much. Like, I don't.
No, he is as good as they say, and I will give him his props for that. And it's always enjoyable to watch someone who does their craft so well do it.
And he
and do it
absolutely
live.
proved that without a doubt. I don't subscribe to the GOAT shit, but because Serena Williams.
Because he's not.
Serena Williams has 23 championships. So.
And she won one of those while she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She did.
Right.
And she's been in 35 championships total.
Yeah, SportsCenter did like a
good
side by side of Brady and Serena, because everyone was like, "Oh, he's the GOAT," and everyone was like, "Oh, have y'all heard of Serena Williams?"
Quick to forget.
Wait till you hear about her.
Yeah, forgot about her.
But yeah, SportsCenter did a side by side of them. Okay, go on. He's as good as they say, though. I'll give him that.
Absolutely,
it's very good.
And what he did was like insane.
Yeah.
Like, and the coach even. But I mean, he stopped short of saying it, but they know, like, that was Brady. Like, he came in there and changed the culture. He brought in his buddies out of retirement. He brought Antonio Brown with him. Mm-hmm. He brought Gronk with him.
I'm a little salty about Antonio Brown.
Don't be. She lied on him. But
I'm talking about when he had his stint with the Raiders.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Threw a big fit.
Yeah.
He's as good as they say there. And my rule about, like, okay, you're good, then that means I can put you in any environment and you're still going to be good. And that is true for Brady. I'm going to send you to the Bucks and you're still going to be good.
Sure did.
Christina, from someone who doesn't really like sports, what did you think of the Super Bowl? Or were you there for the snacks?
Did you watch it?
Guys, I could not give less of a fuck about the Super Bowl. I thought the Weeknd's performance was great.
Oh,
Okay.
we didn't talk about that.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I don't like The Weeknd, so I didn't enjoy it at all.
I'm not a huge fan of the Weeknd either, but I thought it was a really good performance.
And you know
What
what?
about it?
He put $7 million of his own money into that
Which I think
performance.
is really dope.
Which is really interesting
Yes, I agree.
because a lot of the imagery and symbolism pretty out there.
Uh-huh. I
Like-
guess he's been like planning it.
Yeah,
That's
a
why
lot
he
of that was
wore his whatever he wore to the AMAs or whatever.
super dope. A lot of that stuff.
What I loved about the performance was just I love the visuals of it. I loved the surrealness of it. I loved the way that the songs how would you say it? Like came together, transitions. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
I'm
cool.
not a huge fan of The Weeknd, but the
sang
songs
live.
that he performed, I love those songs.
I think he did great.
I loved it.
It was,
And he sang live,
and I'm pretty.
And he sang
critical of that
live.
shit.
He
Yeah.
was a really good singer live.
which is why the audio was a little shoddy, but
I'm
that's
always
cool.
impressed when someone sings live and it sounds bomb.
Yeah,
He
Yeah,
sounded
that was
really
great.
good.
totally.
I think it was a good production. I think the Super Bowl and the commercials they weren't the best, but some of the big companies kind of pulled out.
Yeah,
They had good reason.
Yeah.
You know, like Walmart, I believe, pulled out. Budweiser pulled out, citing it's not the time to spend $1 million plus on 30 seconds
Okay.
Good.
when people are dying.
What did you guys think about the healthcare workers in the stands? Listen, before you take the
How about you
side,
tell us?
I think you're gonna take. I saw some tweets and they were like, "What a way to celebrate healthcare workers by stuffing them into a Super Bowl stadium." Basically, people were salty you can't celebrate healthcare workers and then have them attend a large group gathering in the same breath. And I don't know what
But
I
they were all
agree-
tested.
I don't know what. Yeah, I'm sure that there was so many precautions people took, but I think it's cool that the NFL took the time to
Yeah.
thank those people in a big way because going to Super Bowl is a big deal. That's the dream for some people. Super Bowl tickets.
Can I ask you what side do you think I'm gonna take? What do you think I'm gonna say?
That it was cool for them to be there.
Absolutely. I mean,
I know you.
I'm not with the whole let's find something wrong with any fucking thing there is.
Yeah, totally.
It was harmless, and it was harmless.
I agree with you. So I'm going to be short but not so sweet about it and say fuck that opinion.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's great that the NFL awarded them and thanked them that way because the NFL didn't have to, but it's cool that they did.
Right.
And it's a lot more than our last president did. So I think that healthcare workers are the true heroes of the pandemic.
Hold on.
And
what does the NFL got to do with the president?
I'm just saying they did more than our last president
Oh.
in recognizing them. He never thanked them publicly.
I think the NFL did right this time. My dad was telling me about they had women refs in this year's Super Bowl.
Yeah, that.
Which
Oh,
I think is dope. They invited Amanda Gorman, to come and be the first person to recite a poem at the Super Bowl, which I thought was really powerful.
I think they really tried to do right by the people.
I think they're trying to do right, trying to be more forward.
What?
Richard?
You didn't like the poem.
No, I don't like the NFL's what is it? Pandering.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
It's late.
Yes, I agree.
It's like Kaepernick
Oof.
late.
Damn. Ooh, I feel a
So-
little
And I don't ever take that stance.
yeah, you don't, but I feel a little oops, you missed that. You're right. Because they had all of these BLM
Right.
commercials, never recognized Colin Kaepernick, who is
He still doesn't have a job.
still doesn't have a job, but I really think he was the frontiersman of this movement. He was
Mhm.
nah, fuck this.
He was, and I was critical of it at the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't come around until much later, but I have, and yeah, they're a little late, man. They're
Yeah.
really they're
That's a good point.
they're really late, and I like the whole so viewership for the NFL has been down in general, which says a lot about our country, right? Some of the Proud Boys won't watch the NFL because of the sticker on the back of the helmet that says
And racism.
"End racism" or "Takes all of us," or the 3 or 4 Breonna Taylors that they allowed on the team. So, but the fact that they continued and let people do their poems, and there was a representation. So it's cool that like they decided to still do it with those down numbers. But I still, it's just, it's just.
Do you think it's the Proud Boys that aren't watching football anymore,
Absolutely.
or people who are riding for Colin Kaepernick and his cause?
No. Because no.
What are you getting upset about?
No, I don't. I think you got it all wrong. Like
I'm
black
asking.
people that
You're
support
wrong.
black people that support Colin Kaepernick still support black athletes in the NFL.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not saying they don't. I'm just asking, like, could it be people who aren't messing with the NFL because of what they've done to Colin Kaepernick?
Nah, I don't think so.
It's just Proud Boys.
Well, I generalize that.
Struggle.
I generalize that shit, and I should probably stop saying that because I think that's a legitimate organization. Well, they're not legitimate, but I think they've been classified as
They're a
like
terrorist organization.
exactly. I think they've been called.
And they're called the Proud Boys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all look stupid as hell. Okay,
Watch it.
I said it. I watch it for what?
Because they are a terrorist group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Canada just recognized them as an official terrorist group.
Okay.
As it should. But
Vicky, come on. Anyways.
yeah, like yeah,
Stop
black
it.
people still fuck with
Black athletes.
athletes.
Yeah. Of course.
And I mean, we still recognize what the NFL did is wrong. I don't know.
I do think it was pandering, but I
Right.
think I'm like, good. Pander to me, biatch.
Right.
You have all this power. Start
All this
pandering.
money.
When does it stop being pandering? Like, how long do they have to
When
beg?
it's a consistent, when it's a thing that becomes a behavior of them.
When it's not rare for there to be women refs in the Super Bowl, when it's not
Consistency.
rare to have a woman as like a coach on staff,
I
when
think
it's
women refs are the absolute best. You wanna know why?
I think I might already know, but go ahead.
They're always really good at telling the men when they're wrong.
Exactly.
And I think they also know when to pick their battles.
Yup. And they see everything.
Yeah.
And like,
Oof.
and when I was in high
Good
school,
point.
and what would you say?
And they,
They
see,
see
everything.
everything.
Okay,
They can predict your move before you're gonna make it.
no, you can't.
Okay, sorry.
But the,
Took it too far.
fuck, I lost my train of thought. Oh, I had a woman ref when I was playing high school basketball.
Really?
Yeah, she was like a PE teacher.
That's cool.
At our school, so she refed our games or whatever. But like I would tone it down out of respect.
What is the it you're talking about?
Like what? Like if I'm hyped, I would be a hyped young kid. Like, come on, ref,
Oh, okay.
get the fuck out of here.
Okay. So you cooled the
Open
attitude.
your eyes.
I
yeah,
love it
I'd
You
be
checked
like-
yourself before you wrecked yourself.
Yeah, it's like, excuse me.
Excuse me, man.
Are you sure? Are you sure I
Did
found
Did you see
him?
that travel?
Oh, okay. He didn't foul me? Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
My bad. I appreciate it. I like your hair. Like no bullshit. Like we were in line. She didn't do too much. Like she didn't do anything different or anything. Like she was just.
It's just that respect.
I have respect. Like as opposed, and then like there's a male ref. I'm like, yo, come on, get the fuck out of here.
I see that. I like that. I think that's cute. I know you're not trying to be cute. I mean, like that's precious. That's dope. And it wasn't just you; it's your whole team.
But and I see that in the
Cool.
NBA because there's women. First of all, we need to shout out the NBA because they've been ahead of all of this shit
They've had women refs for a long
for a long time.
They
They
have
were
a whole WNBA. You're right.
they
That's a good
canceled
point.
games when George Floyd happened. Like they put the players first.
I mean, they should.
They absolutely do.
They have a lot of people of color playing basketball.
You would think, but they do that. They do in the NFL as well. But
As many?
I think the NBA is like high 90 percentile, but I think in the NFL, at least 70.
Okay, cool. Not too far off.
Not at all.
Okay.
Very high.
That's good. I didn't know that percentage.
Yeah, but the disparities in like.
Oh my god, I heard that one.
We got a lo-fi beat. By design. So Christina's gassy.
It's definitely you.
Like that. But so there's definitely a disparity in like who gets into the Hall of Fame in the NFL versus there was a really funny commercial about that too. There was a Latin gentleman. He was the first Latino quarterback. He broke all these records. It was a funny commercial. It was a beer commercial, and he was like, pretty much the premise was like, why isn't he in the Hall of Fame? And he was like, well, I don't know. It was funny, but it was like, yo, like, why the fuck isn't he in the Hall of Fame? Based on those stats that you just threw at us. Like, he should have been in there.
So they were poking fun at it.
They were poking fun at it, but they were also raising some awareness.
I think that's the thing in all Hall of Fames, like especially in music too. I saw that today that Jay-Z's getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, it is. But I remember it being like the Academy Awards, like there's not a lot of representation in the awards because, you know, that's just how America is. And now everyone's getting on the same page about it. And there's more representation happening.
I think Jay-Z is a unicorn, though, because he's young, he's super powerful, and...
He's hitting 45. He's still young?
Very. In terms of...
rap?
In terms of induction into Hall of Fames.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Jay-Z is my favorite rapper, and I know you want to laugh at that, but he's my favorite.
It's not popular, but he's not my favorite rapper. I appreciate what he's done. People on the East Coast will be like, what the fuck? Are you crazy?
He's my favorite rapper.
He's not my favorite rapper. Like, he was good. Like, he is good.
The Black Album is...
amazing.
My favorite album in the whole world. Know every word.
The Blueprint.
Yeah, The Blueprint. Oof.
That did a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Magna Carta.
Did
a big thing for me.
He's my favorite rapper, and Richard laughs at that.
Do you listen to rap music, Christina?
Of course.
She loves Jay. Hello, who is his wife? The Queen Bee!
Want to do it again?
You gotta be fast. You want me to hit that Queen Bee? The Queen Bee! Why did you hit the reverb? You're making me look stupid out here.
I turned it down.
Stupider than normal. Oh, y'all see that? All right, let's get... I know, we're going to head back into a heavy thing.
Well, Christina's going to tell us about a rap
music.
I'm
sorry.
Jesus
I wasn't going to... I enjoy
you like Jay-Z.
rap music.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Anytime Jay-Z's playing in the Bay, like, I'm there. No one even has to ask me. They just know. Did you get your tickets already? Like, girl, of course I did.
I love Jay-Z. I pay attention to everything he does, but when we're talking favorite rapper, no, he's not my favorite.
Who is your favorite rapper?
Ew.
This is an interesting question. I don't think I know the answer. I think I know, like, your top 5.
I don't think I know the answer either, to be honest.
But you got a few.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Was definitely my favorite. Like, I was crazy about Lil Wayne. Pause.
Very interesting.
No, it's not that interesting.
I think it is.
It's not that
Dude, when Lil Wayne brought out Drake, when he was doing that tour with T-Pain, iconic. And I was like, that's the guy from Degrassi. And that was it.
I like my Bay rappers. I like E40 a lot. I like some underground Bay rappers, 100%. Grouch and Eli. Probably never heard of them.
I've heard of Grouch. Who hasn't heard of Grouch? What? Eli too.
Never heard of them. What's the name of their crew?
Oh, I don't know. Okay. Sorry.
Hello, you, historian.
If she doesn't know, if I don't know, she doesn't know.
The Living Legends.
Oh, yeah. THA. I knew that.
This guy named Murs, he was a part of that too. Mm-hmm. Scarab, Sunspot Jones.
I know Murs.
You don't know these people.
I do.
That's what
So
I grew up
cocky.
listening to. I'm not being cocky. You don't know these people.
I don't know them like you probably know them, but I've
Exactly.
heard of Merz has been on my iPod since I was in high school.
I don't know. I don't have a favorite rapper at all. I don't.
Interesting. Okay. Do you have one, Christina?
I love me some Kendrick. I love me some J. Cole. That's pretty much the extent.
All right, I'm with that.
I think I'm just. I don't know. We're too old. I think we're like the same age.
You and J.
who?
Cole?
Those guys, like, we're of the same like generation. So it's.
I also think I'm of the same generation.
No, you know.
Like
Yeah,
Kendrick,
you
I
too.
think is 35. That's what he's saying, like age-wise.
He is getting on my nerves
I'm
right
picking on her.
He's.
I'm fucking with you. Take a deep breath. Relax. Ooh,
Ooh,
that's
I
a bad one,
hate
right?
that. Fucking hate that.
Calm down.
now. Calm down is the worst.
Is it?
I am calm.
What else?
That's always
Is,
my
what else
response.
is?
You said that to me last night.
Are you okay?
You needed to calm down.
Are you okay?
Were you hyped up last night?
She was being very grumpy.
About what?
We were just taking a nice car ride.
Oh, you guys went for a ride?
Yeah.
One of those rides?
Yeah.
She was being
And I
Miss
said,
Grumpy
can we go to
Gills.
McDonald's and get a hot chocolate?
But I thought McDonald's was bad.
If it,
Just for a hot
McDonald's is
chocolate.
bad, but
Just a
not
hot
the
chocolate.
not the hot chocolate.
And what Christina said, no.
She was like, "Is it gonna make you less grumpy?" I was like, "I'm not grumpy."
How have I been grumpy? And I was just like, oh my God. But she was less grumpy after I got her the hot chocolate, folks. So it worked.
There you go. Hey, you know you can pull up to the In-N-Out and get the free hot chocolate. You know their hot chocolate's on point.
How is it free? I've never had their hot chocolate.
Oh yeah, it's free.
It's not free.
When it's raining, it's free.
It wasn't raining last night. I've heard that actually.
But you could pull up and be like, "Can I get that rainy day hot chocolate?" And they'll give it to you.
Okay. That's an idea. But when I think
For
of
you
In-N-Out, I
brokies.
think of a double burger, well done fries, and an ice cold Coke.
Ew, gross.
Mm.
Neapolitan shake, mustard fried double.
Neapolitan shake. I always need a Coke with something. I can't. A shake is not a drink. A shake is a dessert. I can't have that. Gotta have
That's
a Coke, and I gotta have a water. I got a 3-drink minimum.
Whoa.
You know that I always have 3 drinks.
Yeah,
like,
it'd
even
be
right
like a
now.
Coke and a Powerade.
I have my alcoholic drink. I have my water, and then I'm about to open up that sparkling water.
I don't need any more bubbles.
Yeah, you don't. You bubbly over there. Okay, I'm moving into our stories for the night.
Okay.
And it's gonna get deep again, guys. I'm really sorry, but let's try to pick up the energy after. Okay.
Oh, you think it's gonna be a downer?
It is a downer. It's absolutely a downer. I want to like just touch on the rise in anti-Asian attacks that have been happening.
It's crazy.
Yo,
What? That's part of the story. That's our news story for tonight.
I literally told you about this story on the ride over here.
No, you didn't,
We
Richard.
talked
I started
about this.
typing this. Wait. Do you think you are the Christopher Columbus discovery owner of Asian American attacks? Honey, no. That's been on
I
CNN.
think it emphasizes the fact that this is a rising, concerning trend.
Absolutely. And what I read today was that there's been 3 in the Bay Area, and it's as they're relating it to the pandemic.
Yeah, I don't know that to be the case. I don't think that's what it is, though. I don't think that's what.
Why? Why do you think
Because
that?
I watched them.
You watch what?
What?
I watched 2 of
You
the
watched the
3.
attacks?
Yeah, 2 of the 3 attacks,
Okay.
and they just look like shitty kids. So there's a like I have a lot of friends in San Francisco, and in a Discord, the question was asked like, "Yo, are these initiations?" Because that's what it seems like it is.
Gang initiations.
Exactly.
Got it.
It doesn't seem like, I mean, because you got a person running up on a lady, a 7-year-old lady,
Mhm.
snatching her purse.
Mhm.
Like, if you were mad about COVID, you wouldn't get anywhere near this person. They have another person wearing a mask, walking up behind a dude. Looks like they cross paths a little too close for somebody's comfort, and he just pushes the guy.
Mhm.
These don't like. There was no words.
That's an
exchanged.
interesting perspective that obviously news outlets will not explore
Yeah.
because it's too touch and go. But I do know that when President Trump coined the phrase China flu, that there was an uptick in attacks against
Absolutely.
Asian Americans.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a contributing factor.
Yeah. So that's what the news outlets are reporting, that it is due to the pandemic, but that's an interesting perspective, especially in the Bay Area. The gang culture is huge here.
I'm talking about these specific, or these two of these three.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know firsthand of some Asian Americans that have experienced this bullshit.
Yeah, you do.
And
didn't they say to you that it got worse once the
absolutely
pandemic happened? Okay.
And it like made me so sad to hear about the way like she was telling me about it and she was laughing. It was like, yo, like you don't have to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Like that's a big deal. Like didn't report it, didn't tell anybody about it, just kind of casually mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
The night of the election, actually. And I was like, wow, like that's a big deal.
Huge.
And it wasn't one occurrence. It was just like a couple. And it was like, yo, like that's. And she was just like, yo, I just don't think they like Asian people. I'm like, okay, not okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But for her, it was so normalized.
It was so normal.
She just went to a different grocery store.
She just left. It was way too normalized. And the fact that like she was so okay with just accepting that shit. And I'm like, yo, like that's not cool. And that makes me sad. Like groups that don't know, not groups, people that don't even know they can advocate for themselves.
Yeah.
They feel like that's
just
a part of it.
In this case, it was so normalized for her that she was laughing about it, recalling the event to you. B, she just left. She was like, okay, whatever, I'll go to the next store. And I'm sure at that point she was prepared to go to the next store and the next store.
Right.
And
it's like, fuck
terrible.
that. If you were any, like, and this same person, like their house was, like they caught this young man, is not related to COVID or anything, but they caught a young man like going through their mail. And I was like, yo, what'd you do about it? Oh, nothing. It's like, they don't want trouble. They're so afraid. Like, she's so afraid, like, it's going to create a problem.
Yeah.
Like, even the police that come out are not going to be nice to them. That they're just like, oh, whatever. You know, we'll just put up a different light.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, that's crazy.
That's super crazy. And then, but it speaks to, like, the experience that Asian Americans might have. That they have. And I'm sure not all of them have the same one, but the fact that you have someone literally so close to home that's experienced this, and then we're hearing of all these Asian American attacks, it's terrible. It's, when did we become so hateful because of the way someone looks? And the COVID-19 has nothing to do with China, with Asian Americans, with people of Asian descent, period.
Yeah. And like, come on, like, we're past that. Like, that's
we're not.
Dude, like, we're past the knowledge. Like, we know that it doesn't have anything to do with that. So these people that are, if they're doing this because of COVID, they're operating from a place of hate. Like, it's just,
you already had hate in your heart. Like, you're really that mad at them for COVID? No, you're a piece of shit.
Right. That's why
you're looking for something.
Exactly, and that's why I brought up why I don't think it was COVID, because I think it's lazy for the news articles to say, yo, this is COVID related. No, these are just hateful people.
Yeah, lazy and not keeping people accountable.
And two of the attacks happen to be young black men.
Specifically, I want to touch on the 84-year-old man from Thailand who was attacked, and he recently died.
Yeah, he died a couple of days after he got pushed. That was the guy that he got pushed from behind.
It's terrible. The suspect is put in custody, but is that enough? And it did say it was a 19-year-old, a young kid. Whether or not it's a gang initiation or a specific attack on Asian Americans, it's foul, it's unnecessary, and it's
fucked up.
It's fucked up. It's disgusting.
I think it's really important that, because like when the George Floyd was going on, like anybody I know, like all my Asian American friends, and like they were riding hard. And I think it's like I'm glad to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear about it in the Discord. I'm not glad that it's happening, but I'm glad like because the people that I'm hearing about it from are not Asian American. You know,
Like
it's my
you're talking about like the community.
yeah, fuck yeah, it's my Latin friends and my black friends, and like they're talking about it. They're like,
Yeah.
yo, this is fucked up, which is good. You know what I'm saying? Like in the past, before like our big 2020 moment, it was just like, yo, that's them. You know, a lot of people, unfortunately.
I think the problem's also attributed to like the deep xenophobia that's inherent in our society. Like nationalism is a problem, and I think
Totally.
that is a huge part as to. I mean, xenophobia is just another form of racism, but I think that's also a huge part of what's led to this increase because it's always something. It's always like the immigrants caused this, like they did this because of them. It's this because of them, like whatever. So I think that's also like a huge factor in it. So now I realize my story was also about something that impacted negatively the Asian American community, which with Lunar New Year coming up, that is not the story I want to highlight. So I'm going to hold my story for another time.
But it is important that we talk about it.
And
because
exactly.
it does affect us.
I just don't want to like make our narrative like, oh, all these and all these horrible things that have been happening, but to acknowledge it in
we got a platform, so it's dope to. We're brown, so we need to be talking about this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. No, for sure. Man, I should have just.
But I
should have looked up a positive story.
I've seen a lot of like Instagram where it's like you can be pro-black and pro-Asian, and or like there's community between the two. It's okay. Like it's not just about we're further than that's them.
Right.
Nah, that's us too.
That's us
too. That's us too.
Because that's the same way they're treating me.
Yeah.
You know, in that scenario, that's the same way they're treating you too.
Right.
You know, so that's on any given day.
So I think it's important that if you stood with Black Lives Matter, if you stand with if you're Latino and you stand with Latinos, like it's important that we stand for Asian Americans as well, Asians in general. I think it's important that people of color stick with each other because that's the only way that we really fight this off.
Yeah, and the system works to turn us against each other.
Yeah, and
don't let that shit infiltrate your mind.
Right. It's not even about that.
It's not about
really
that.
Not like
we need to ally, not turn against each other to like try to get higher.
100%. It's important to be an ally.
Yeah.
And to be that as often as you can, and in those spaces where your voice really makes a difference, be that ally. Don't be quiet about that shit. It's enough of being quiet. Like enough. It's time to get loud. It's time to do something. It's time to say something. It's time to stand in the chasm when you can, so that someone else doesn't have to, especially if you're going to be the one that's protected by it. But there has been like a study done that nearly a third of Asian Americans said they'd been subject to racist slurs or jokes since the pandemic began, while 26% said they feared someone might physically attack them. So the pandemic does have a lot to do with the recent take of xenophobia against Asian Americans.
And uptick in it for sure. But I think it's always.
I said recent uptick.
Yeah. I'm just adding on to what you say. Yeah. But yeah, I do think COVID.
Yeah,
has a huge role.
I mean, there is like a very specific coined term that our last president used that really didn't help the situation at all.
Not at all.
And perpetuated it. In fact. All right. Well, I think it's important. If you're an ally, be an ally. Let's do it. And let's be loud about it. Let's not be in the shadows.
And recognize our allies.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Right. And don't be so quick to cut someone off if they say the wrong thing. Like, let's educate one another. I think that's really important in allyship. Like, we're educating one another. I don't know everything there is to know, but I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to be taught.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like, good point. Because that's what I mean about recognizing allies. Like, if a person is trying and they just lack the knowledge.
Right. Because we're very quick to be like, that's not the way to say that.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. But that's not the intention.
Yeah.
The intention is to educate, to the willingness to be educated, the willingness to educate others.
Right. Agree.
And do it with a sense of respect and kindness and some dignity behind it. No one learns when you're screaming at them. Nobody. Not even the strongest person. No one cares.
Fact.
What's everyone doing on drinks? I kind of want another one. We're out of ginger beer.
Just make a vodka soda.
Okay. You want to get into true crime? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not true crime.
Cult.
It is
Conspiracy theory.
Well, don't leave.
I'm not leaving.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to leave.
Please don't leave, Mickey Bear.
No, Vicky, no.
Yeah, we can get into this is part 3 and the final part of the discussion about search and rescue was from Reddit. So if you've been following the Nightcap, I forget what was the first episode on, or what was the
stairs.
The introduction.
That's right. It was about the stairs in the woods. And
Rashard, do you want another drink?
I'm good.
He wants another drink, Victoria.
I'm straight.
It was funny watching you
Why are you trying to get me
sip.
drunk?
It's fun.
Again, I love when people are drunk. I love it. I
This is
have
a safe
so much
place.
fun. But I was cracking up, Richard, in my head when you were drinking out of the little tiny Moscow Mule cup. Can you hold it up again?
Oh my God, stop
It
it.
was
I
hilarious.
missed it.
Where'd it go?
I missed it.
It was super
I
tiny.
don't know where I put it.
Let's take a picture of this and let's add it to the Instagram because we need it.
I should do that.
So
It was
funny.
hilarious. He's like holding it like a teacup because it literally is a teacup.
If y'all don't know Richard in real life, this man is 6'4", okay?
Yes.
Holding a teacup. That's the funny.
We'll take it later. Anyways, that was just, it was like funny, but it was also kind of cute. I was like, oh, look at him. It was like he's at a tea party. Anyways, what was I talking about? So the first episode is about the stairs in the woods. If you don't know about the stairs in the woods, people, look it up.
Yeah, then you're behind on the Nightcaps. Get caught up, boo.
Can't get caught up because they're good stories. The second episode was about monsters of the woods. And finally, we are going to end out this segment with mysterious deaths in the woods. Craziest deaths in the woods.
Hold up. I saw this thing on TikTok this week that Disney has the Slender Man in videos, in movies.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And it reminded me of, like, forest monsters. Was Thunderman one of them? Thunderman. No, this was Slender Man.
You just said Thunderman. Who's
No,
Thunderman?
I said Slender.
What Disney shows is he in?
It's
I
in
know. I saw
Beauty
a clip of it in
and
Beauty and the Beast too.
Frozen.
I don't know if that's
Like
real
in the
though.
background, like in the
like
clouds.
he's walking, like when they're in Beauty and the Beast, when they're doing the dancing, he's walking on the perimeter. And in Frozen, I don't know because I don't really know that movie that well, but it's in Frozen too, apparently.
Is it like if I was to go into Disney Plus and watch that movie, I would see it too?
Yeah.
Well, I think we'd be looking for it now.
There's so many Easter eggs though, like so many different
But why would Disney
animators.
put Slenderman?
It's the animators. It's not Disney. It's the animators
why would
that
the
are into
animators do
other
that?
shit.
Too.
Because it's historic. Like to know that, like, yo, I put Slender Man in fucking
it.
Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, so
Like,
it's not intentionally trying to be creepy.
I don't think it's malicious, like personally. But I mean,
I think it is.
Disney could have probably did a better job at, like, I bet you that shit doesn't happen too. Well, I think it still happens, but there's a lot of Easter eggs in those
Yeah.
shows.
Okay, sorry. It just reminded me of your stories from last week. The forest monsters.
I'm gonna keep going now.
Okay,
I
sorry.
want you to listen. While you're listening, you can think of the questions in the comments you have and save them to the end.
Christina asked me to not interrupt her this episode.
Oh, is that a thing?
I know you're just exciting, you're interjecting, but I'm going to ask you, like I ask my students, hold your questions to the end, okay?
Okay. I just forget. I'm afraid I'm going to forget them, but I will keep my mouth shut.
Do you want a post-it note so you can write them down?
I'll write them in my journal.
Okay, great. Richard, you're doing a great job. Keep up the great work. Okay. Anyways,
Question.
go ahead.
He's nodding.
I don't have a question.
Okay. At this point, I need you to save all your questions till the end.
You got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Anyways, I'll pause momentarily for questions. So
Thank you.
I want to talk about 2 mysterious deaths that are highlighted in this Reddit thread, again, called Search and Rescue Woods, about crazy shit that goes down in our national forests. So I'm going to start with the less crazy one, but it was just like a really interesting story to me. So this is a story about a family who goes out into their local national forest. It's very snowy out there, and apparently snow is dangerous as fuck. Okay. There's these things called snow banks or something like, I think it's called snow banks or snow caves. And essentially what it is, and like apparently like if you are a skier or a snowboarder, like you know about this stuff, you are avoiding at all costs. They put up signs. But essentially what it is when there's newly fallen snow, sometimes around the base of a tree, because like think of a pine tree, it's like a conical tree, right? So not all the snow falls equally around the base of the tree, but with so much snow coming down, it can look like a solid piece of snow.
It's really soft.
Yes, but it's really soft, and like you step on it and you fall through. So apparently this happens, and like again, they put up signs when this is happening. It's like a very dangerous thing that people who are on the mountain doing like sports are aware of.
Right.
However, this is a little bit different, but there was a man who was like found in one of these snow caves upside down, who had been like buried in the snow.
What?
And like essentially suffocated in the snow because he fell into one of these
I
tree, whatever they're called.
am I allowed to talk?
Sure, go ahead.
This happened recent. I didn't see it, but I was staying at a resort that it happened.
Really?
Just got to the resort, and that night, like a fucking helicopter was like circling the because it's
The
right
resort.
yeah, it's right outside of Heavenly.
Uh-huh.
Like it's on Heavenly at the ridge, and apparently he was going down the mountain, and this happened. Like it happened at like 9 a.m. Like he went down with his girlfriend, fell in one of these things you're describing, and was in there all fucking day. And she goes down, she goes back up, she's riding, looking for the guy, because it's common to get separated from people you're riding with, and you assume like you're just on this loop and you're gonna catch each other. You're going up the lift, they're coming down, and at some point you're gonna catch them. That's super common, but it never happened. So she got down, and then she informed them, and they found him. Like he had been buried in something.
He died?
He died. Yeah.
Oh. Do you know what those are called? I forget.
No, it's just soft snow. They got names for
It's
them.
it's like tree something. I don't know. If you know what it is, hit us up because I just don't know. So similar thing happened to this family. So this family goes out beyond the trail that is marked in this forest that they're attending to, and they're snowshoeing. And a similar thing happens. They step into this like bank of snow that they think is solid, but ends up being the edge of this like I think in the Reddit thread it like said 300-foot cliff. So the whole family goes tumbling down, obviously.
Oh my god.
The mom and the dad are killed on impact, but there's like 2 kids. I think one survived, but was like really heavily damaged, like broke their back. Things are not looking good. Eventually dies. Another kid survived with some fractures, wasn't too bad, was able to drag himself to be like looking for help. But the search and rescue Reddit thread describes when the child was found, like the child was like sitting, holding his knees to his chest. He died crying, and he died just like essentially because of the elements. So really sad. Really be careful with snow. Stay on your trails, people, and snow's dangerous. Vicky, go ahead.
How could they tell that he died crying?
Because the tear was frozen on his face.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So that was a crazy death. The other one is even more crazy. So this was a story that was on the thread about actually a fireman who was called in to support the search and rescue team because the incident had occurred really high up in this crazy high tree. So this fireman that they asked to come and support them and help them get this kid down from a tree was like an experienced tree climber. Like he had been like a tree trimmer in the past, so he had the experience to do that. He gets to the site where this is all happening. Everyone's kind of just standing around, and he's like sort of feeling really confused. Like, why is everyone standing around? Like, what's going on? I guess he looked up in the tree and he could see that there was someone or something there. But everyone's sort of just standing around. So eventually he climbs up into the tree. He finally gets to the point where he finds this kid, this boy.
What?
And like, first of all, I don't know how this kid ended up there. Like the thread did not go deep into how the hell a kid ended up this high in the tree.
He was running from something.
or was dropped from something or fell from something.
Whoa.
I don't know, but the fireman describes to the search and rescue officer just the scene that he finds when he gets up to the branch where the kid is at. The kid essentially looks like he's been popped, like he's had all of his guts sucked out of him, like, you know, like those squeeze toys that like you squeeze it and like the eyes pop out and like whatever pops out. This is essentially what this kid looks like. So he has like guts hanging out from his mouth. The fireman can see guts hanging out of his pants that have come out of his anus. Yeah. Sorry, did you have a question?
Come on.
They don't know what happened, but it's just crazy. And this fireman was so freaked out that instead of carrying this body down the tree back to the search and rescue officers, this man pushed the body down with a stick because he was just so freaked out, didn't know what to do, like almost lost his job because he just like let this thing fall to the ground. But they don't know what happened. He didn't want to. He describes in the post that he didn't want to.
So this isn't a like unexplained.
It's an unexplained death.
Got you.
They have no idea what the hell happened to this kid.
That's crazy. Yo, you can spare us those details though.
Oh, sorry, folks. I just thought you would want the nitty gritty details. Wait, can I just say what the search and rescue officer like says? The fireman says he's like,
you obviously weren't listening.
Yes, I was.
Anus guts.
Yes, I heard every second.
Okay.
I mean, what's different between it popping out of your anus and what is that thing called when you like it like pops out but it's inside of you?
I have
like when you,
no idea.
Like when you squeeze too hard.
I don't know.
Hernia.
I just don't like how we're talking about this. I don't know.
Okay, well, I told you it was crazy deaths in the forest.
Happened.
Okay, you're right. My bad.
That's what happened.
I'll pause there with the story. I mean, those are the only two that I have.
Is
I'm
the anus
just having a hard
making
time.
you uncomfortable?
Nah, it was a young boy. It was a kid. You know, he was pop. She described him like this isn't a life. He was just described as a balloon.
This is good perspective for me, Richard, because I am, to an extent, very numb to stories like this because of my
I didn't think it was weird at all.
Obsession with true crime.
The other day when I was editing, or we were editing one part, and he was like, "Is it?" When he put the picture up in the last pod, he's like, "Is that disrespectful?" I was like, "No, why?" He's like, "It's a dead woman." I was like,
Right.
"Oh yeah, no." But that is good perspective because I
Guys,
like.
let me know because maybe I'm just numb to it.
I'm a little. I'm a little more soft, I guess.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad. It's good for me to have that perspective to like hold myself.
Let's just be respectful of the dead. Let's not call them balloons.
Did you call him a balloon?
I said
I missed that part.
popped like a balloon.
Squeeze toy.
Kind of like a squeeze toy.
And you said a fireman pushed it out of.
At that point, I'm not talking about the soul anymore. At that point, I'm just talking about the body.
Okay. I'm sensitive. I'm sorry.
I know. It's okay.
It's okay. Go on.
I can be a little more sensitive
I was
in the way
listening.
I
I
describe
didn't
these
think anything
stories.
was weird. I think maybe I'm just as sick.
Not bad.
I mean, that's essentially the end of this segment. I figured that those were probably two pretty heavy stories where I should probably just pause. But I am looking forward to our next segment of conspiracy theories.
Can you give us a preview?
I have a couple ideas in mind. I'm not going to give you a preview because I don't have the details yet. I'm more brainstorming what to do. But I'm thinking about looking into your sidewalks.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Did
theory.
you check it out?
Not yet. I have not looked into it yet.
You'll get. There's a rabbit hole. You will fall deep down.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you'll love it. For sure.
So maybe we'll do that one next.
What one?
The sidewalks
Hello.
of the Fremont Hills.
Oh, we talked about that.
Yes, we did.
No, it was.
We did a little thing on it.
I suggested that,
Yeah, the last
but
Nightcap.
Christina goes in depth. Like she.
Yeah, she researched. Okay,
Yeah,
I'd be interested to know.
I just told her about like what to Google.
The sidewalks.
Yeah.
Yikes, dude.
Stay tuned.
Well, she delivered again, folks.
She delivered. Hope y'all enjoyed that one. I did. I think that next time I want to move into like cult stuff.
She keeps saying that, but she just said next time she's gonna talk about the sidewalk.
I know, but eventually I want to move into some cult stuff. Okay,
I'm just afraid of cults.
I'm terrified of cults, but I think I tried to get looped into one this week. The other day. It was crazy. And I swear it's Scientology.
Whoa.
It was weird. This guy is like trying to get my friend and I to like partner with him in business. What?
He's not a listener?
Richard's giving me a really weird look right now. I don't care if he's a listener. It was weird.
Okay.
That was Android behavior. Cut that out.
What I don't... Why do you keep going back to this shit?
Like I said to you yesterday, I don't know.
Said every cult member ever.
Said what?
Every cult member ever. I don't know. Just go back.
He was trying to sell us on some classes, and my friend and I were both like, nah.
Well, this was the first time I heard you
We're good.
talk about it getting weird.
It got weird the first time we met.
I guess that just wasn't the big emphasis
But
of the story.
The first time we met, it was fine. It got a little too deep for me, and I was like, where is this coming from? But it wasn't weird. It wasn't too weird.
Yeah, strangers often open up to you.
Right, so I'm kind of used to it at this point, actually, so that's a good point. But then this last time, it got mad weird to the point where I was like, what is going on here? He wanted me to buy some classes, and I'm not hating on the classes. Like, if something helps you, I'm never going to judge that. But I was just like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. It was really weird. As people know, I'm kind of into Scientology because Leah Remini and the Scientology documentary. And that's what it felt like. And I could not get this. It was like beating I couldn't get him off me.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like, like
persistent.
Yeah, like I already told you no.
I don't know that the Scientology folks are persistent though.
They are persistent.
Like when it comes to being like initiating people, I don't think so. I don't know that they're like persistent. I think
but
it's hard to escape that shit.
Yeah, I think they are persistent when you've like shown a little bit of interest, which maybe this guy thinks I've shown interest in it.
Well,
I'm just trying to be helpful.
You show up to these meetings.
Well, he invites us, and I'm not going to let my friend go by herself when I've already told her, like, we're doing this together.
It's a Zoom meeting.
But it's like, my girlfriend and I were like, yeah, like, we're doing this together. Like, we're going to, if I'm doing it, she's doing it, it's vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's like standing in solidarity going with her.
Also, it was, again, it didn't get super weird until this recent occurrence that you had. And at this point, I feel like you were networking and trying to grow like your...
Well, yeah, but I feel like I was brought there... The first time I thought I was brought under a false pretense. Yeah. And then this time, I'm for sure...
Oh, I didn't know you felt like that
was
the first
being
time.
Brought,
when she explained it to me,
was being brought under a false pretense.
Oh,
I got weird vibes the first time. Then the second time, I was like, oh, yeah, this guy's really thinks I'm stupid.
And when you explain like what
He's
you were...
fucking with me.
What
He's
you were
fucking
doing,
with me.
I was like, why? Why are you doing that? And
because
like,
I already said I would help him out with one thing.
Right.
So, like, I am a woman of my word. I will, if I tell you I'm going to help you, if I tell you I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. But then it got weird. I'm just like, nah, now you're crossing some boundaries because I already told you nah. And, like, one thing about me, don't cross those boundaries. I will shut it down real quick.
So are you attending the next meeting?
We're supposed to have a meeting tomorrow, and tomorrow I'm going to tell him, like, hey, I really feel like you really disrespected our boundaries. We already told you we were not interested, but you continue to hound us with 2 emails about it, and we came to you under the guise of networking, and that just doesn't seem to be what's going on here, so I'm going to have to...
Did you talk to your friend?
Yeah.
She on board? She riding in solidarity?
Yeah, she's done with it, too.
She's secretly a part of this...
No! That's funny.
I know who this
I forgot to tell you I forgot to tell her that joke today, but no, I'll tell her after this. No, I don't think she's secretly putting me in these weird ass situations. But yeah, I'm ready to like break it off with him tomorrow. Like, we're not interested anymore. And I'm always willing to be the bad guy. I don't care about that.
She listens to the pod. I know.
Of course she does, because she's a true friend.
She roped you in. It was all a part of her plan.
Well,
I wouldn't be... She's the grandmaster.
We'll have to speak to her. She loves a good prank, so there's a possibility.
This would be the ultimate
This is the
fucking
ultimate
prank.
She loves a good prank.
Man, this would be a good one. Hats off to her if that's...
Yeah, but I don't think that's what this is, because she seemed pretty freaked out, too.
That's a part of the guys.
Yeah, oh, stop it. She does. Okay, this friend in particular loves a good prank as much as the next person. So maybe, but I highly doubt this was the prank. If she was gonna prank me, I don't think she'd rope in all these randos.
Yeah.
it was weird. It's not happening. And like that's why I have a heightened awareness of when I think people are trying to fuck with me, because people do. People think you're stupid and try to rope you into weird classes. Like what? No. Have you met me?
That's that multi-level marketing stuff.
Yeah, I'm in Aries. Like nah. Whatever you're trying to sell me is not going to go over well. That's my rando story for the week.
For sure.
But yeah, I'm supposed to meet with him tomorrow, and I'll be kind.
Can I pull up?
But I'll be straight about it. You can
and I
pull
can
up?
just ask all the questions that you want to ask. Say all the things you want to say without you tarnishing your relationship. Because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but then I'm associated with you.
No, you're not.
What you mean? You're pulling up to my meeting.
How's this guy? But he doesn't know, before. I'm sure he doesn't listen to the pod.
Yeah.
If he listened to the pod, he would know something about
Okay, yeah,
you.
sure. The meeting's at 7:30 tomorrow. You want to roll up?
Nah.
Okay.
Cool.
I don't even want to go. I'm about to cancel. Hit him with that text. I'm not feeling well. Can't make it to Zoom. And I already told y'all I don't want no Zoom invites in my inbox.
That noise.
Disgusting. I don't want that. It's ridiculous. I hate that fucking noise.
Yeah.
Ding dong. Ding dong. Oh my god, I hate it. It triggers the hell out of me. It's triggering.
Christina, you seem like
All day
Every day.
long, every day.
That's how I hear the ding dong. Ding dong.
Hey, how are you?
She's like, hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, Vic, you did a great impression today. You want to do that for the folks at home?
Yeah, I do. You want to intro it for me?
No, hold on. But first, I want to shout out our YouTube viewership, our Spotify listenership, our Apple Podcast listenership,
Our Amazon,
listenership,
our Google Podcast,
our really cool listenership that leaves really cool reviews on our Apple Podcast.
Yeah, like and review.
Yeah,
5 stars.
Richard was on a hunt today to figure out who wrote it.
I know.
I was like, who cares?
Because I don't want to let them down.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, like, who cares? Like, who wrote it? That's great. Like, we'll aim to not let them down.
Yeah.
Oh, they wrote a review on Apple
Yeah.
Podcasts?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he was like, is it this person? Is this person? I bet it's this person. I was like, I don't know who it is.
Either way,
It's fine.
I won't let you down. I appreciate you.
I'm with you on that. Okay, but I can do a really great impression of Blue's Clues. And I did it for Richard today, and he didn't think it was great.
I didn't say anything.
He's trying...
I said nothing.
Exactly. You said nothing. You didn't even laugh. Usually you'd be like... You'd laugh.
I was uncomfortable.
Okay, and Richard's trying to embarrass me with the Blue's Clues impression, but I'm not embarrassed. So let me get ready. I'll do my Blue's Clues impression if you do your E40 impression.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Bible. He just rolled his eyes.
No, not doing that.
Why aren't you doing it? Okay. My impression of Blue's Clues is "Bow, bow, bow." It used to be a lot better a couple years ago. "Bow, bow, bow." No, that's not good.
All right, I think we ran out of content.
"Bow, bow, bow." I used to do it really good. Ooh. And I can do a really good impression of my late grandmother.
I wouldn't know.
No, I can't
but
do
Christina
it.
could tell us.
I won't do it. I made my aunt cry when I did it. Because she thought it was my grandmother. So I'm really good. I can be good at impressions. I'm not going to do my grandmother.
Do Christina.
Yeah.
Christina doing what?
Just being Christina.
Oh, okay. Want to touch fingers?
Fingertips, bitch.
Want to touch fingertips? I need it.
Is that what you say? Why do you need that?
Because she loves physical touch and I fucking hate it.
He hates it.
Want to
So
touch
she'll walk up
fingertips?
to you and...
She'll say, want to touch fingertips? And I'll say, no. Then
That's weird.
3 minutes later, want to touch fingertips now? And then she'll touch them anyways.
She's fucking with you.
She always is telling me I need to
I
ask
think
for
that's
consent.
great.
So
100% she's fucking with me.
a fingertip
I like that.
is barely anything. She can handle it.
But
Then
that's
they have
not
to-
her, impression.
Yes, it isn't her impression. You want to touch fingertips?
What about hey there, Mickey Bear?
Yeah.
Schmicky.
Schmicky.
I don't call her Schmicky.
Mickle Knickel.
What the hell? Mickey from Kinnicky.
All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna cap this off
we're done
right now because now it's heading into uncharted territory. All right, y'all. We'll see you in a few days for our Saturday podcast. We're streaming on all major platforms, but if you want the full experience of kicking it with us, you gotta listen to the YouTube. Until then, I'll see you guys soon. Until then, all my love. Peace.